Okay, so here's the deal. This is a 10-foot gazebo made by Outdoor Living in British Columbia, Canada, made out of a gorgeous cedar, and it's purportedly takes 3 people to do the step that I'm about to do by myself. I kind of had to figure this out because what we're doing right now is we're under a sequester at home, or quarantine if you will, due to the COVID-19 virus. And I knew I was going to pretty much be alone. I can't even have my son come down and help me, although we're actually quite interested in keeping this as a bit of a surprise for the family when they come over next time, which I'm sure will happen. Anyway, so what I designed was to use a 16-foot board that's going to be a pole in the center of it to act as an elevator. And I bought this this winch from Harbor Freight with a coupon. I got it for under 20 bucks. And I'm going to extend that cable out to a small pulley or roller that I put on the end here. And the cable will go through there, and then I'll go ahead and screw this down so that it can't get out. And then these 2 hooks are just there for me to use rope to kind of stabilize it as guy wires. So I purchased a 100-foot roll of polyester cord while I was at Harbor Freight. Forget what it cost, but it was well worth it and inexpensive, and plus I'll have other uses for that in the future, I'm sure. So that's the plan. There is to put this elevator, so to speak, or winch, up in the center of the gazebo, and then this rafter support that you see here in the center. This is not attached. This is what has to go up into the air, nearly 10 feet up, in order to support rafters that are going to be hanging off of it. And in order to do that, I built this cradle, which is the right length, tip to tip, if you will, to fit into the cradle, and it'll fit underneath it in the bottom of it. So you can see that here. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy with this video, but here it is upside down, so to speak. It'll actually be underneath it, and the slot in the center is exactly what's needed to slide over a 2x4, and just barely slide over it. And then this hook on what'll be the top is balanced on this to be pulled up by the winch and the cable that came with it. Now this particular winch comes with 32 feet of cable, so it should be just enough to be able to go around the end, hook onto the cradle, and hold the cradle up in the air. Now what I did though is I mounted one post. Let me release this. So I mounted one pin, if you will, at hard to do with one hand. Apologize for that. Let me just pull the pin out. Okay, this pin is set so that it'll hold the cradle 30 inches above the ground level, and that should allow me to hang the rafters onto it, 4 of them. The book of instructions that comes with it suggests hanging 3, but that wouldn't be a balanced load. I want a balanced load, so I'm going to put 2 and 2 and go with that instead. That'll give me, I can do 4 points, if you will, and balance that cradle. And then as I winch it up, you can kind of picture the rafters hanging down from it, and the secret then is to just twist it a bit, get it on top of these posts, and go up there with a nail impact driver, if you will, and drive one screw into each each of the 4 positions. So now that should then make it certainly sturdy enough for me to add the additional rafters, the other 4 rafters, one at a time by simply climbing up a ladder and putting them in there. So that's the plan. This base unit is meant to kind of keep the bottom of the pole stable, and I'll actually put that in the center and just drive maybe 2 screws into it to kind of hold it right in the center, and then that'll end up holding this big long 16-foot 2x4 so that the base can't fall out. Now I'm gonna tie rope around it in such a way that once I lift it up, I'll be able to anchor it to the corner of that fence there. You can kind of see the corner. It's black coming together with the brown. So I'm gonna tie the rope to that corner or attach it. I'll also attach it over here to, say, some point along the fence here, the top of the fence, at one of the posts. And then there'll also be 2 guy wires going out into the lawn, anchored at these spikes, which I'll drive down into the ground there. And on the other side of the putting green over there in the dirt, I'll put another one. So the top of the 16-foot 2x4 then will actually be tied to the ground so that it can't tilt or lean over or anything. It should be very stable. It should work. We'll see it in action in just a little bit.